Dips are a great exercise for the shoulders, triceps, for the chest and the abdominals. I'm going to show you how to do them in the rings and then a few regressions if you're unable to do them in the rings, because it's a very challenging exercise. So I'll show you the regressions and you can work through them until you're strong enough for the ring version. So how I like them done: ideally your palms are neutral, so they're facing each other. They're not internally rotated or overly externally rotated. You want your chest up, no shrugging or forward, like rounding of the shoulders like that, and look straight ahead. You're going to go as low as comfortable, back up to shoulder lock, elbow lock. So all the way down, elbows locked. Now, there's controversy on how low to go in the dip. Some say 90 degrees at the elbow, some suggest bicep, when the bicep touches the forearm, that's how low you go, and also another one is elbow reaches shoulder height is about the limit. Now I like the idea of elbow at 90 degrees if you have maybe a shoulder injury, or, well, you probably shouldn't be doing dips if you've got a shoulder injury, but if there's a little shoulder problem or you're tight in the shoulders, 90 degrees. Bicep touching forearms, it kind of depends on the size of your bicep, so I never really use that one. I go for about elbow on shoulder height, maybe a little bit higher, just depending on how tight someone is in the chest. So choose what works for you, but there's no need to go stupidly low. It doesn't serve you any good. Now, hand position at the start, this is going to be easier turned in, because you're going to use a little bit more chest, and you're going to favor the stronger muscles, the internal rotators. As you get stronger, you're going to turn your palms neutral and then external. The more external you are, the more your hands are facing that way, the less your elbows are going to be supported on the strap, so it's going to get harder. I like neutral, that works for me. Okay, now if that's too difficult, we can regress using a power band or a super band hooked over the chin-up bar. We're going to use two, so we're going to loop this one through like so. Alright, and you reach through like that. So now I've got a little bit of extra bounce at the bottom. I don't really want to bounce, but I've got some extra support at the bottom. So right now the band's doing nothing, but as I lower, it'll stretch. It's going to make me lighter, makes it easier for me to push. Like that. So that's how you do it. If you're unable to do the full ring version, get yourself some power bands. Now, another regression is, especially for at the home, is between two benches or two stools, two chairs, whatever. Hands on the bench, feet out in front. Now my hands are going to be about in line with my hips, so I'm not like this. When you're like this, is just excessive stress on the anterior capsule of the shoulder, and we can avoid it. So like that, and we've got dips, keeping the elbows tucked in like that. Now I prefer that to, like I said, the traditional over the bench, back version, just because the additional stress on the shoulder. Now, that still leaves us a pretty big gap between going from this to the rings. So if you have 4 stools, like I just happen to have, and a set of homemade parallettes, you got some parallel bars to do your dips on. And same technique, chest up, lower it down, as low as your flexibility allows, up to lockout. Now you might want to put something grippy on the bottom of the parallel, because that would be a little bit dangerous. I personally don't really do this version, but it is an option. Now, once you've got the strength to do a few parallel dips or dips on the bar, dips on the benches, you can then work towards holding yourself. Just working on that, getting used to holding in the rings. It does get a little bit out of control for some people at the start, but work with these techniques using the parallettes and the benches. Keep working on your push-ups, handstand push-ups, and then progress to dips. So there you have it.